Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. This is a Drivecast episode. I haven't put out a whole lot here recently. I took several days off. Just kind of a little update. I'm not sure, honestly, how many podcasts I'm going to be able to put out for like the next 3 weeks. Just because we had 2 people call out yesterday. One, he's got gout already, so he already has like a foot problem. And then he bought a lawnmower and started mowing his lawn and stepped on a rock the wrong way, and he tore like a tendon in his foot. So and it's not his fault, I'm not speaking ill of the dude, but he calls out of work a lot, because his foot literally swells up, and he has to wake up like an hour or 2 before his shift to like ice his foot and stuff. So yeah. The other guy, he's got a sciatic nerve out in his back, and he's got to get surgery on it. So his doctor's like, yeah, you can't be working. So tonight, it's me and 2 other guys stocking the whole store. So that should be fun. And that's if the guy with the messed up foot comes in tonight. So basically, my boss kind of had a little meeting with me and this other guy. He's like, yeah, if anyone wants overtime, you're welcome to have it. And I ain't gonna lie, like I was already wanting to get some overtime anyways. I mean, me and Sammy, we're doing okay, knock on wood. But you ever like notice how your money is like slowly dwindling, And the thing is we don't go out and blow money and shit, because I work at a grocery store, she works at a gas station, we're not rich. And I don't make anything really off this podcast. I think I've been podcasting for over a year now, and I've made $5 off of my sponsor. So I am gonna try to set up a tip jar so you guys can throw in whatever, heck, even if you want to throw in a penny or a nickel, go for it. Every little bit helps, So yeah, my boss pretty much said, next 3 weeks, he's gonna start just scheduling us automatically 6 days a week. So I'll be pretty wore out from that. I'm not sure how much podcasting I'm going to put out. If I got the energy and I feel good, I'll do it. But yeah, I've got the next 3 episodes planned. I just haven't had the energy or time to do it, But today, I wanted to honestly kind of do, basically, I do, I guess, social commentary every now and then. Once in a blue moon, I'll do social commentary. And I don't know. I just wanted to do this episode, just kind of talk about something. Basically, toxic masculinity. That's a word that gets thrown around a lot by the left and social justice warriors and all that. And I don't know, hear me out. I would say I'm kind of like an old school liberal. I was born in 91. I was telling this younger dude, I was like, I don't even call myself a liberal anymore. I'll tell someone I'm an old school liberal, and they go, well, what does that mean? And it's like, what they call liberal now is insanity, It's just pure insanity. It's divide and conquer tactics. It's socialism, communism. It's not good. You know, I remember old school liberal was pretty simple, like pro-gay rights, pro-abortion, you know, pro-gay marriage. Hey, we should all treat each other good, black, white, brown, whatever. You know, we should try not to say certain words, you know, all that jazz. But, I don't know. And hear me out, I believe in toxic masculinity, but I don't believe in it the way that the left and the social justice warriors believe in it. Now, this modern feminism is insanity. You know, old school feminism, when it first came out, I actually kind of agree with it. You know, because like way back in the day, you know, like the woman was supposed to stay at home. She wasn't allowed to work, you know. When the man came home from the office, he always had a martini ready and was able to sit down and smoke a cigar and read the paper, and she cooked dinner. And honestly too, like I've watched, there's an old school interview of Hunter S. Thompson, and at the time, actually I think the dude is still president of the Hells Angels, but him and the leader of the Hells Angels and Hunter S. Thompson were kind of getting into it, and you can find it on YouTube. And you know, Hunter was telling his story about how he got beat up by the Hells Angels. And the guy was like, well, why'd you get beat up? And he's like, because this guy was beating up his wife. So I stepped in, you know, and all the angels ganged up on me and beat the shit out of me. And the guy, the Hells Angel was like, I can't remember his name. I apologize. The Hells Angel was like, well, that's between a man and his wife, you know, and everybody in the audience just laughed like it was like normal. And it was normal, you know? Like that was like water cooler talk. Like, yeah, I had to smack the missus last night, you know, she was mouthing off. And it's like, so I understand like old school feminism, but this new feminism is not for equality. It is literally shame on you. Fuck you if you're white and you're straight, you know. They don't want to be equal, they want to be over us. You know, they want man to be like literally put down, you know. And the old school feminism was just like, hey, we just want to be equal. That's it. We don't want to be over you. We want to be equal. But they say like manspreading is toxic masculinity. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like I cross my legs, you know. But I just do it because I'm comfortable like that sometimes. Sometimes I sit like that. Sometimes I sit with my legs spread out. But it has nothing to do with us being a guy and just being a dick on person. I don't know, for some reason we got these things in between our leg, maybe like a dick and balls. And for some reason, we don't like smashing them. I don't know. To me, I would think that's just common sense, you know, human anatomy. But, you know, the social justice warriors and modern day feminists, they're not the brightest bunch, you know. It's not us being a dick because we sprawl out our legs. It's because we have a dick and balls, and it hurts when we smash them. And I'm 30 years old, you know. I've wore boxers since I was a teenager, meaning my balls didn't get the support that they should have, you know. I shouldn't have to explain gravity, but they're a little saggier than they should be, and they're not gonna, unsag. So any other man can I've talked to guys and shit, and sometimes we sit on our own balls, It's like, and it fucking hurts. So yeah, that's just one example of how I don't believe in their idea of toxic masculinity. Now, I do believe in toxic masculinity, and I'll give you a couple stories of, like, my experiences with it. I had a lot of trouble when I first moved to Kentucky. I was a punker, I had spiky hair, ripped jeans, wore the leather jacket, wore Ramones shirts, listened to old school punk like the Ramones, Misfits, Sex Pistols, all that shit. And we moved to Garrett County High School, which was like this super small school, a shit ton of rednecks, a shit ton of jocks, and there was like 0 punks, and I came from Florida. We were, I think, like somewhere around Tampa. I can't even remember. The county, I think, was Hernando County. And it was a big ass school down in Florida, and it was just, if you could fit in anywhere. We had the punks, we had the goths, we had the metalheads, which I hung out with all 3 of those groups, I got along with them just fine. There was emo kids, I hung out with them. And they had wiggers. I don't even know if you could say that anymore. That was a W, by the way. Puerto Ricans, black people. They even had rednecks, So yeah, I didn't really fit in Garrett County High School. And I got picked on, man. I got picked on a lot by the rednecks and the jocks, man. We had one guy, his name was John Shoemaker, and he was this big fucking football player. I'm talking huge, dude. And, I used to have spiky hair and wear a trench coat, leather jacket, shit like that. And I had to sit in front of him in history class, and he kept ramming his desk into me. And he did it about 3 or 4 times, and I told him to stop. And finally, I just turned around and I said, dude, you do it one more time, I'm going to get up and just beat the fuck out of you. And he didn't do it again. But, yeah, and I wouldn't have beat the fuck out of him. He would have beat my ass. But he had that mindset of, oh, I'm in football. I'm huge, I got muscles, and I'm bigger than you. That's an example of toxic masculinity. Too much testosterone, and he thinks because he's big and bad that he could just do what he wants. And I heard this old guy once tell me that no matter how big and bad you think you are, there's always somebody out in the world who is bigger and badder than you. And this guy, I kid you not, it gets even crazier. He, like, me and him were cool after that. We weren't like buddies or nothing, but we were all right. I think I just needed to put my foot down and just be like, fuck you, dude. And the thing is, I'm not a badass. I'm like 5'6", I think, 5'5", somewhere around there. I'm 138 pounds. I'm a scrawny dude, I got a little bit of muscle mass because I stock like gallons of water and shit like that, and big cases of water, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not a big bad dude, but I'm fucking crazy. So, you know, like I don't back down from fights, but I don't go out seeking them because I hate fights, man. You know, I work with this little tiny, he's Guatemalan, and he always like brags about all these fight stories he had, and he loves fighting, and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel you, bro. Like, I can't stand fighting. The whole adrenaline rush shit, it makes me feel like real sketchy, real nervous. I'm all shaky, you know, like, and even like winning fights, like any fight that I've been in, I've won, you know. But like, even after winning, like, I feel like I just want to cry. Like, I don't, obviously, but I'm like, ugh, I hate that feeling, dude. That adrenaline, man. I don't like it. That's why I don't understand why the elites, like, love adrenaline so much. It's just like, that's what you get off on. Like, I hate that feeling. But yeah, this dude, he ended up, like I said, he was on the football team. He ended up, him and the rest of the team held down this boy, and Shoemaker stuck a broomstick up his asshole. I kid you not. So it always kind of cracks me up that, like, the biggest, baddest motherfuckers who are like, oh, I'm big, I'm bad, I'm so manly. It just kind of cracks me up, like they're secretly gay, most of them, you know? But I felt bad for the kid. And I think where we were all in high school, I don't even think he really got in too much trouble for it. Which, Shoemaker is a big name around here. But it gets even crazier. So I'm like, we're all, you know, out of high school and living in a small town. And I've lived in like every town around my area. Living in like small towns and shit, you run into the same people that you know. Everyone knows everyone. I literally, my wife, like when we go out and about, she's like, how the fuck does everyone know you? And I'm like, well, I've had a shit ton of jobs, you know. I've lived in like every other town around here. I'm kind of like a albino gypsy, man. I've lived everywhere around here. So I know everyone. But she said, like, literally, like, you can't walk like 20 feet without having to stop to talk to someone. I'm like, I already know. So I ran into Shoemaker after we were both like, you know, adults. And this dude was on going through police academy. I was like, what? So what are you doing, Abe? And I'm like, I'm just working at McDonald's. He's like, oh yeah, what about you, man? What are you doing? I'm going through police academy. And I was just thinking in my head, like, oh fuck, wait till this motherfucker gets a badge and a gun. He's gonna pull my ass over and be like, I got the power now, you know. That's what I was worried about. But that's one case of what I think toxic masculinity is, and an example of it. Now another case, I'll go back to high school again. You know, like that was the jock experience I had. My first year in high school, I had like no friends. Everyone in the school literally thought I was gay because I had tight jeans. You know, they had never seen like an old school punk, so they just thought I was gay. Oh, he's got tight jeans, he's gay. So I didn't have a girlfriend until 2 years, like I didn't have a girlfriend or friends until like literally not my entire first year. I was lone wolf, and then halfway into my second year, I finally started making friends. I guess it took them an entire year and a half to finally go, okay, I guess we'll talk to this guy. And I finally started making friends, and I got a girlfriend, you know. And literally everyone saw me with a girl, And I kid you not, everyone that's like, oh, you're dating, Sarah? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, we all thought you were gay. I'm like, dude, seriously? Why? Because you wore tight pants. I'm like, that's why you all thought I was gay. And I mean, honestly, I am kind of feminine, and I've always been like that. My little brother's the same fucking way. Like, a lot of people think he's gay because he's feminine too. I don't know. I think we get it from my mom's side of the family. Whatever, her and my dad fucking like something. I don't know. Maybe we just don't produce enough testosterone, or I don't know. I think it's my mom's side of the family of why me and my younger brother are both kind of feminine. I mean, we're both straight, but So yeah, the first year, man. Well, I wouldn't say the entire first year. It was probably like the first, I let it happen for about 4 months. There was like a group of rednecks, man. And it was so weird. I don't know if this is like this all over the country, but the rednecks here in Kentucky, like in high school and stuff, they all got like the most smoking hot preppy girls. And I'm like, what? How? Like, it blew my mind back then. I'm like, this dude literally has cow poop on his shoes. He spits dip all day. Like, he looks fucking retarded and inbred. How the fuck is he getting like the hottest chick in school? Not that I wanted the hottest chick in school, because I already knew even back then, like, preps, man, fuck that shit. But so this like pack of rednecks, man, used to pick on me all the time, and it was small shit. It hadn't escalated too much. It started off small shit, like they'd be like, faggot, when I'd walk by, they'd call me a faggot. And I'd just brush it off. I'd ignore it. Or I'd just flip them the bird or something. Just small shit like that. And I don't react to words and shit. That shit, you got to do something a little more extreme than call me a faggot or something. Hang on, I'm looking for a lighter. Sorry about the white noise. But it had finally escalated to one of them throwing a paper ball in my face. And I had had enough, man. And I just walked up to him, took his paper ball, threw it right into his face, and just kicked him in the shin. And I didn't even wait for a response. I just turned my back and walked away slowly, just waiting for like all of them to jump me. And then like after about like 20 feet away, I just kind of glanced over my shoulder, and they were all staring and whispering like, do we jump this motherfucker? And the bell rang, so we all went to class, and I got out of class, and there they were, all huddled up and shit, and whispering and shit like they were gonna do something, but they never did. They never did anything. And I think honestly, just me putting my foot down and just, enough is enough, dude. I've let you guys call me faggot every day. I've let you guys, say shit, but I don't, when it gets to the point where you're touching me, I don't like that shit. But that would be another example of toxic masculinity. Now, like I said, what the left is considering toxic masculinity is complete rubbish. Like me and a buddy at work, we're talking, and he's single now. He just broke up with a girl, and I had made the joke. I was like, dude, you need to get like a sex doll, bro. And he just started laughing, and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. too much money or something like that. And I'm like, I would. I told my wife, I said, I've been married before. This is my second marriage. I said, if something happened between me and her, like, which we have an awesome marriage, you know. We have our little arguments here and there, but we honestly, I'm like, I say to myself, I'm like the luckiest man alive, you know. Sex is great. We're best friends. We hang out. We have, you know, I can sit there and talk to her for hours. I mean, that's why we do podcast episodes together and shit. You know, we just love each other. We can hang out as friends and do friend stuff together, like go hiking or bowling or, you know, play board games, play Yu-Gi-Oh, play Pokemon. We can nerd out together, watch movies, you know, but we still had the romance and stuff. So I got lucky, you know. But I told him, I was like, dude, if something happens between me and her, like I end up a widow, ain't no fucking way I'd be dating. I said I'd buy me a sex doll and just be a widow living in my apartment alone. I was like, I'd be terrified to date nowadays, dude, because people are so fucking crazy. You know? Everyone is just like either wearing a mask or they're drinking wizard potions from a needle. They're just super woke. But I was like, dude, I told him, I was like, the left says that it's toxic masculinity for a man to open the door for a woman now. They think that it's like, oh, you don't think I'm empowered enough to like open the door for myself, you know? And it's like, no, I'm just being nice, you know? And I told him, I said, I don't fucking get it, because I open the door for dudes too. So does that make me like a homosexual, or does, you know? I don't fucking get it. I was like, dude, if I was dating right now and I opened the door for like my date and she like literally went off on me, I would just like let the door go and just walk away. I'd be like, nah, we're good, I'm out. I said, fuck it, man. Like, I feel bad for him, and he's like the same mindset. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not even dating right now. I don't think I'll ever date again. It's just gonna get worse. But it's crazy, man. But yeah, it's sexist for a man to open the door for a woman, because apparently that's implying that they're weak, that they can't do it themselves, you know, because they're independent. Well, if you're independent, why don't you just be alone in life? See how happy you'll be then, you know. But yeah, as far as toxic masculinity, the only reason I believe in it is those interactions with dudes who are obsessed with being buff. And there's nothing wrong for caring for your body, but when you think you're big and bad and macho, and, you know, just because you're big and bad and macho, and you might have a big dick, and you might have big muscles, and you might be wealthy, to me that's toxic masculinity. Knowing that you're stronger than others and misusing that, you know? Abusing women physically, or, you know, treating them like shit. You know, treating other men like shit. Starting fights, bullying. It's pretty simple. That's toxic masculinity. That's me, that's someone saying, I'm a man and I'm a bigger man than you, so you're my bitch. Whether it be to a woman or a man. You know? You don't think, the left doesn't think that it works, you know, that a man can't be toxically masculine to another man. It happens all the fucking time. Oh, I'm your boss, so I write your paycheck. I'm more of a man than you. You know, do what I tell you to, bitch. You know? Yeah, go to jail or go to prison and tell me there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. You know, it's real, it's true, it is a true thing, but it is not what the left will tell you. You know, they want us literally being like metrosexual. You know, I want you to dress unisex. I want you to dress unigender clothes. And it's like, no, I'm an old punk. I've been dressing like a punk since I was young. I'm gonna continue to dress like a punk. That's me. I ain't changing. You know, I'm gonna continue to say gendered words like dude and man. Sorry. If I'm calling you dude or man, it's because I like you, because you're my friend. It's a term of endearment. You know? I don't know. It's just getting crazy out there. Words are getting removed from dictionaries or they're changing definitions, and sometimes I feel it's good to give an actual definition. You know, if they're gonna make up shit like toxic masculinity, I'm just gonna rewrite my dictionary and be like, these are examples of actual toxic masculinity. All the examples that you give me are rubbish, and they need to be thrown out with the trash. But that's all she wrote. I'm almost to work, so I'm gonna grab some grub and sit down and eat before I go in. And I don't know, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you agree, cool. If you disagree, that's fine. Give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because either way, when you thumbs down a video, the algorithm doesn't see the difference between thumbs up or thumbs down. So it pushes me further up the algorithm whether you thumbs up or thumbs down. So yeah, like or dislike. Subscribe. I hope y'all had a good day.